We had a request for a little how-to video for Nearpod, so here I am. My teacher assigned me a Nearpod. I saw it in my classroom, I clicked on it, and I'm ready to go. You'll come right to this screen and it asks for your name. Remember, first name only. We don't put our last name out on the internet. So I put my first name in. If there's another student in your class with the same name, you could add your last initial. Okay? And then I don't put anything in the second box, and I just hit join session right here at the bottom. This will start my Nearpod. Now, when you're in a Nearpod, some screens are just for reading, they're just for information, and some screens have activities for you to do. Arctic animal subtraction. I click on the blue half circle over here with a little arrow in it to move on to the next one. You see, I can go back too if I forgot something. There's a little explanation of what I'm going to learn today. That's for your mom or dad or grown up to read. I go on to the next. Let's get started. Here we are. Again, just something to read. Hello, I am so glad you are here. I need your help. The gate to the Arctic Animals exhibit was left open last night, and some of the animals are missing. Can you help me find out how many animals we have left? Thanks, Max the zookeeper. So that's the idea of this lesson. That's the story behind it. We're going to help Max do some math. Now here we are on a page that actually has an activity for me to do. So I have 4 bears here, and it says trace the numbers, put an X on the animals that are missing, solve. Okay, I have 4 polar bears. I trace the 4. I click and I drag with my mouse or the touch screen on my computer. And then 2 of the bears escaped when the gate was left open. Trace the 2. Ooh, a little tricky. This is a great way to practice your mouse skills. 4 minus 2. 4 take away 2. So I'm going to cross out 2 of the bears. And I'm going to see how many bears I have left. 1, 2. And I'm going to write my 2 on this line. Again, using my mouse or the touchpad on my computer to click and drag. When I come down here to the walruses, I can do the same thing. 3 minus 1. I can trace the 3 and the 1. 1 walrus got away. Now here's another way you can answer the same question. I have these tools down here. I have my pen tool. That's the one I've been using. I can tell because it's a nice bright blue. Here I can make my pen thicker, which is nice for tracing, or I can make it thinner, which is a little easier to write with sometimes. I can also change the color. Some devices, some iPads, some newer computers may have more tools. That's okay. Just play around with the tools menu, see what you can come up with. The next tool over is a highlighter. A highlighter, let's say my teacher wanted me to find certain words in the text and highlight them. I just use my highlighter to write right over them. This one would be handy. This is a text box. You remember from Google Docs and all kinds of other apps we use. When you see that T, that usually means add a text box. If I click on it, I can pick the color of my text. Let's do green. And it gave me a text box. It put it right here in the middle. I'm just going to grab it with this 4-corner arrow and put it down here where I want to write my answer. 3 minus 1 is 2. So I'm just going to type a 2. There's my 2. And then I come down here. I have finished all of the activities on this page. Let's pretend I did. I'm going to come down here, and right here behind my picture is a button that says Submit. I'm going to click on that Submit button. If I just hit the arrow, it goes on to the next page, but it doesn't turn this page into my teacher. I'm going to click on the Submit button, and I'm going to hand this one in, and then it goes on to the next. And I'm going to continue to do all of these pages. Let's look at a couple more of the buttons. This one inserts images. We've talked about this little icon before. A square with a picture of mountains in it usually means we add a picture. If for some reason you were doing an assignment where you needed to add a picture, this is where you would do it. This one is your eraser. You need to erase something you did, just grab your eraser and erase it. Here's your undo button and your redo button. I started to do this, and it's okay if I make a little mistake, but oops, I slipped. I can just hit my undo button right here and make that go away. If I started to write my answer, oh, come on, pen. And then I was like, oh, no, that's not right. And I hit my undo button, but oh, that was silly. It is right. I can hit my redo button and put it back. Or if somehow I slipped or I just made a mess of the whole thing, right here, this will clear the whole page. Do I want to erase all that? Yes, I do. So keep working your way through. Finish each page and then come down here and hit the submit button. It's very important. Don't forget to turn in your answers. Hit that submit button. Let's see if we can move me out of the way. Yeah, there I am. So 2 minus 2, I would trace them. Then I'm going to write my answer. 4 minus 3, I could write my answer, or remember, I can use my text box. And I can just type my answer and move it on down there. And then when I'm all done, submit. Must hit the submit button. And I'm going to keep working my way through. Don't skip any like I just did. You need to finish. Now, here's Pam the zookeeper. She's going to explain about the next couple of problems. So I read the explanation. No submit button here. That means there's nothing I need to do. I move on. Here we go. Now we've got a little bit different way to solve the problems. I'm just going to keep working. I'm going to keep working my way through. Trace the numbers, circle the animals that left and are missing, then solve. So I had 5, 4 left. Missed that guy a little, but 1 is still here. And I solve. I finish the page, and then I submit. Now I'm just going to use the arrows to jump ahead so I can show you a few more things. Oh, here's another one. Do I have to turn anything in here? Nope. No submit button. That's just for me to read. Here I'm going to do a word problem. So I read the directions, do the problem. We had 9 oxen in our zoo exhibit. 9. 7 oxen left when the gate was open. Oh, minus 7. How many oxen do we have left? Equals 2. I can also put my text box in there and just type 9 minus 7 equals 2. Right up right in the box. 9 minus 7 equals 2. Put that right over here where we can read it. And submit. So either way is fine. Just keep working your way through, submitting the pages that you need to. That submit button is very important so that your answers get turned into your teacher. And then just click your way to the end so it's completed. And done.